It's a little chilly. I'm glad you're bundled up. But we made it all the way to Dodge City and the original Boot Hill Cemetery and Museum. I think my little cowboys are excited. The Boot Hill Special Steam Engine, number 1139. I think this is the first train the little guys have ever seen. This is the sort of thing that powered westward expansion. And Dodge City was the Old West. And there's a closer look at the Boot Hill sign and the Great Western Hotel. All right, guys, are you ready to go tour the museum? Okay, we entered through the gift shop, and as you exited the gift shop, you came back to what they have recreated of Dodge Main Street here. All the way down to the ad for prickly ash bitters. But just to give you an idea of how large this area is and how much history it contains, we'll be walking around and taking a look. Well, little guy's just hanging out in my purse because we've reached the part with all the history, so I think he's taking a nap. But this is so cool the way they have it set up here. All the old photos, and then you come up and they have a description of what each photo is and the time frame that it was taken. And it really, really gives you a wonderful glimpse into the Dodge City history. We have the beautiful Union Church recreated here. On the grounds. That must be Reverend Ormond Wright. He arrived in Dodge City in early 1877. Quickly became a minister to all people. And if I can get the reflection out of the way, you can see a picture of Mr. Wright. look who's there. There's my little guy. Are you enjoying your history? Well, it's more my history. We don't know your history at all, do we? We don't even know what to call you, other than my baby. It's a shame your brother wouldn't come inside after that nasty weather at the train. His loss. You go back further. And there's one of the older homes that would have been seen, as well as a blacksmith wheelwright. And like I said, all of this is just in the same area at the back of the gift shop there, where they have recreated Dodge City. The Occident Saloon. Today this is used as a banquet hall. I believe there's a dinner you can reserve when things are back to normal. Right next to the Occident Saloon, they have the Kansas Cowboy Hall of Fame. And as you can see, when you walk inside, it connects to their banquet hall there at the saloon. And in here, we have all the people who worked hard to preserve cowboy culture here in Kansas. After you leave the Hall of Fame, there's also Betty and Kelly Restaurant. And that's where you can currently sit down and have a drink or buy a snack. The Front Street Times. Oh, wow. This looks to be where a majority of the exhibit lays. Acknowledging their Mexican heritage here in the town. Mexican village formed around 1910, located south of the railroad tracks. The young people of Dodge City. Here's the toys of the late 1800s, early 1900s. Children in this town would have played with. Some of the military history and Fraternal Order of the Masons. That's what that is. Interesting. Dodge City Cowboy Band. Wow. A look into what the saloon would have actually looked like. What's that, little guy? Are you trying to What are you trying to do over here? No, that's not a cup of soup. You can't get over there. Don't go past the railing now. Come back. Come back. No, that's not for us. This is just a display. I know. I'm sorry, little guy. Are you ready for some lunch? Do you want lunch after this? Okay, we'll go get brother and we'll get some lunch. But you gotta let me finish walking through. Let me finish, okay? All right, here, come with me. I'll hold you. There we are, in the mirror. Say hi, little guy. Some of the games they played in the saloons. They also have a video playing gambling in Dodge City, showing you what each of these games were. This is one of the more interactive and enjoyable museums I've been through on the Old West. We'll continue on. It shows printing, Front Street Times, the Dodge City Times. We move on from the printing press. It looks like they have their caboose. Behind Bars. Scarlet Sluggers. And then the keepers of the peace. And as you can hear, it's an old creaky building. So you can hear everyone behind bars. This has really been enjoyable. Let's go see what else they have. This is further down past the printing press. More exhibits on the guns that won the West. Of course, that includes the Winchester. You have your gun of your frontiersman, the guns of the buffalo hunter, what your typical gambler would have had on him, and then of course what the lawman would carry. And of course the people we recognize, the legendary lawmen of Dodge City. Bat Masterson and Wyatt Earp being some of the most recognizable. Everything we just walked through, I entered there at the Front Street Times. Now I've come back out to the main street and we'll go inside Morris Collier's Dry Goods and Clothing, the guns that won the West. Original signatures of prominent Dodge City pioneers. And once again, just another gorgeous display showing off the history and legend of Dodge City. Right next to the dry goods would have been John Tyler's shaving and haircutting, Tonsorel Parlor, Front Street. And then this is one of the old movie machines. You would have spun the little lever in the front and it would have looked like the pictures were animating. And of course, you know I'm going to bring up where you can see those at Disney World at the Magic Kingdom Railroad Station. There's our bit of pixie dust. And that leads into the guns that won the West. And more exhibits as we move further down. This would have been the cigar shop. Dry goods and such. Oh, here we are. The Mystic Will, Fate, and Fortune. And once you exit the dry goods and clothing, we'll head on over to the Long Branch Saloon. And just to give you an idea, we're now at the opposite end where the general store is as well. Now we'll take a look inside the general store. And it is a store. All these items are for sale. There's just a lot to do here in Dodge City.
No. Especially when you take the 50. Yep. Out of there.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
Good to hear.
Well, the bartender inside was super friendly and made me realize we're only seeing about half the exhibits here when we look at the main street. There's also quite a bit up the stairs, the original Dodge City Fort, and some other exhibits that we will go take a look at. All right, little guy, the weather's whipping up. Maybe your brother was right, staying in the car. But I want to go see everything that is up the hill. Expansion on Boot Hill. Let's take a trip up the stairs. You can hover your way up, but I'm gonna have to walk. And as I walked up the stairs, I noticed this is part of the Boot Hill Cemetery. Lizzie Palmer, a dance hall girl. She died from an infected scalp wound incurred during a barroom brawl. And as you can see down the hill, there's several graves down there. So this is the Boot Hill. That was quite the walk up the stairs. I think it was easier on you, little guy. Yeah. Well, it is pretty easy when you can just hover along. But we made it this way to the cemetery. And after the top of the hill, we find the Fort Dodge Jail, 1865. This old jail was built in 1865 at Fort Dodge. Fort Dodge is located 5 miles east of Dodge City. In 1953, a group of the JCs with horses and dust masks sneaked out to Fort Dodge during the night and acquired the 1865 jail, bringing it here to Boot Hill Museum. How interesting. And here's that small jail that was brought here. Oh wow, it's so little. It is literally a wooden box with a metal door and some metal bars. And there's the chain that would lock the door. I tell you what, if your brother doesn't shape up and start participating with us, I might have to bring him back here to the jail. All right, I'll stop being so mean. I wouldn't want you to use those baby magic hands on me. Let's go see what else is at the top of the hill. Ooh, a little bit of a step down there. You might have seen the video jostle. Ooh, very close to a major roadway here. Oh, you sure are clinging to me, little guy. Are you getting scared because we're going to a cemetery? Here it is. Boot Hill Cemetery, active from the years 1872 to 1879. It's okay, little guy. I got you. Here we are. To any traveler who may pass this way and climb this lonely hill to pause and say a prayer for us who early found our rest upon the prairie wind-swept, ageless breast. Weep not for us who early made our beds, wrapped in our blankets, saddles for our heads. We tamed the West when this our land was young, and sank into our graves unknown, unsung. What a beautiful poem for everyone here at Boot Hill Cemetery, because this was the place where really just travelers and unknown people. There's no one famous here. Alexander Cole hanged in 1876. Ed Williams, February 9th, 1873. He was killed in a dance hall by Dodge City Vigilante Committee. In order to tame the West. There's Mr. Ed Williams' marker. Edward Hurley, shot January 1873. He drank too much and loved unwisely. And there's quite a few more down the pathway. But I think my little guy's a little scared in the cemetery. He won't even let go of me. Jack Wagner died April 1878 during shootout with City Marshal Ed Masterson, which would be that Masterson. And here they have a little cement, looks like his shoes, up out of the ground here. George Hoy. He was one of the few men Wyatt Earp killed in the line of duty on July 26, 1878. Hoy was shooting and causing general mayhem. Earp shot at him and Hoy was mortally wounded. He died on August 21st and was one of the first buried at Prairie Grove Cemetery, which is what Boot Hill was known by at the time. Here's Charlie Morehouse. He was a gambler by trade and was killed by a stray bullet in Dodge City Saloon. So just a man out gambling one night. Here we have Mac McDermott. He was shot by Casey to avenge the death of his friend Ed Hurley. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Well, little guy, since he will not, he is like clinging on to me. I might have scratches when this is over. I think we're going to leave the cemetery. I know you're trying to use them baby magic hands. We're leaving. We will leave the cemetery, okay? I know you don't like it. Right over there is where you sit for any of the gunfight or show performances. And then they'd be taking place right along here, along the main street of Dodge City. All right, my child, let's go find a spot for the gunfight. We don't want to be too close. I don't want you to get scared.
And can't always be present to witness every little skirmish that may break out, and no one from any knows what to expect in this, the wickedest in the city, especially tensions around.
You want cheating cards? Slide behind the cards up your sleeve! Yeah, I'll live. Teach you a lesson, cheating at cards. So you got some sand now, do you? Yeah. fine.
All right, well, you put your guns down, get your patched up, come back with us.
No, I'll find my own way. Thank you.
No. History bleeding. You're gonna make it out far, and you can't just leave after you shoot somebody.
No. I'll trust this justice in the South.
Drop your guns. No, easy. It's not an option, mister. Put that gun down. Not an option. Put it down, you're going to jail.
Ain't gonna happen.
Mister, put your gun down. James. What do you folks do? You just sat there and watched the whole thing? Tell you what, you can help me out yet. I need about 5 holes dug up on that hill. If you help me out, I'll throw in a jug of whiskey. Any takers?
Show me some blood first.
Well, I got a better idea. How about a nice round of applause for the Boot Hill Museum gunfighter?
Woohoo!
Hope you enjoyed the show and enjoy the rest of your day here at Boot Hill.
Thank you. We're gonna make our way back into Beatty and Kelly's because we were ready for a snack. Oh, my little guy's so wiped out he can't even stand up. Look at that. It's okay, we're almost done. Hey little guy, you want your sister to feed you some cheese? It's not a soup cup, but it'll make your tummy happy. And here we are, the picture from early 1870s. Prickly ash bitters, right where we were, at the recreation, right down Front Street. You can see it. What do you think, little guy? Pretty faithful recreation. I have thoroughly enjoyed my day at the Boot Hill Museum in Dodge City. And now we're going to take a walk back over to the gift shop so that we can leave for the day. Gotta go check on brother in the car, don't we? If you've enjoyed this bit of pixie dust from a Texan, please like this video and subscribe to my channel.